The plan today is to take you on a journey with me to Poblado. Now, Poblado is the most touristy city or area here in Medellin. I am supposed to be visiting the agency office of, now can I remember what it's called? No, I won't even try to remember. But this is the marketing arm for tourism in Colombia. So basically I'm supposed to be seeing my Colombian BDM, business development manager, who I will be developing Sell Colombia to all my clients who are all over the world. And so hopefully I'll take you with me. Now, I thought I would just sit out here and do a video because, yeah, lots of times I would tell people, and you know, one of the things in life we really do not practice what we preach. I'll just say, write it down, write it down. There are 1,000 things that I want us to talk about. But do I write it down? No. And then 1,000 more come on top of that. And before you know what's happening, I forget. So, I came here ready to talk about something else. And I keep looking that way. Oh, let's see if I can show you. No, I can't show you. I'd have to get up. There is a basketball court just across from my peripheral vision there, right there. And there is this one, no, two. So I was looking because I kept hearing this ball bombing. And I thought it was just one person playing basketball. I was like, how is it that ball is bombing so much and I've just seen one person? He must be superhuman. But at the other end of the court, there are several other people, or at least one other person with him. So yeah, I guess I'm easily distracted. What can I tell you? Anyway, I was thinking about talking my way through this process of leaving Jamaica. There's so many things I wanted to talk about, but now that I think about it, I don't know if I want to talk about it again. You see, my stories are not as glamorous as some people would probably want a story to be. But I'll share it in a quick nutshell. Or maybe not. We'll see how it goes. So, what inspired this video is watching a gentleman. And the title of his video was age 51, traveling without work or money. I was like, what? That should be interesting. And so, because I am in the 50s bracket and I am traveling and working and pinching every penny, I really wanted to hear, you know, what did he do? How did he save? What investments had kicked in? All of these great things that need to happen to maintain life and living abroad. It turned out to be quite a very simple video, and he didn't have any grand secrets to share. You know, he didn't say, oh, I saved or I had this to cash in, not like that. Instead, he shocked me by saying, I wasn't really one for saving. But what he did in preparation for living abroad, he started to downsize. He was very intentional about it. And it had me reflect on my downsizing as well, that I was not strategic about. It was a very simple and painful process. Yeah, I know you didn't expect that. So, as I would have said in earlier videos, I was faced with the trauma of a lifetime when unceremonially, life as I knew it came to a screeching halt. And I was given a day to vacate a shared property. I mean, it wasn't a day up front, it went through processes. But when I least expect it, I was told, you gotta leave. And by this time, having gone through 24 years of upheaval with my then spouse, having reached the end of my rope, health failing, life as I know it has now ended. I was done. I was so done. I was so done with everything. I was done with him. I was done with the life. I was done with being the wife. I was done. And so, even though I am saying this very calmly, it was extremely traumatic. By sheer grace, an opportunity came up that we, meaning my son and I, my adult son, would go to an event in Montego Bay that Friday, 6th of December. Never forgot. Or was it the 5th? 5th, 6th, somewhere there. 5th, 6th, one of them. And somehow I felt within myself that when we left the house that we were occupying, and I don't even want to get into the house tour because them say they must follow your mind. I won't even talk about how we got to that house, how we were coerced to get there by a returning resident slash somebody who worked for me slash somebody who lived off me slash, anyways, let's not go into all of the slashes. Just a very forgettable person, let's put it that way. Yes, so by sheer providence, the invitation came to attend an event in Montego Bay for the weekend, and I just knew that I would not be returning to that house. So there are a few things in life that I hold very dear, and my most precious possession, you all might not be surprised, is my passport. Now, I cannot tell how people live without having a passport, but I said to my son, even though we're just taking a carry-on, even though we don't know where we're going to return to, if you have your passport and you have your bank cards and you have a change of clothing, you'll manage. I mean, this is how simple I have made my life. And so that's what we did. We left with those very important things in hand. And I won't tell you about all that I went through emotionally. That was then. But I left. And that was the beginning of my leaving, if that makes sense. Fast forward, I am at 2024. I have begun rebuilding my life, albeit painfully, still with failing health, still with mobility challenges that are getting more severe, but conscious that I need to keep my spirits high. I need to remain positive. I need to start doing things for myself to improve myself. And so in December 2023, now that I think about it, December might be my times of trial. I was facing another mountain. That mountain landed me in bed for 2 weeks. Thank God that my coping strategy is to go to bed, because when I go to bed and I sleep, I'm able to de-stress and recuperate. So I went to bed that beginning of December hopelessly distressed, not sure where my next move would take me, but knowing that I was at the point again where change would happen. And so January would have rolled around and I would have become immersed in learning a new product. Not really new to me. It was selling grease with a supplier that had previously done cruises from Jamaica to Cuba. So I became very immersed in learning that product. And because I lived in Spain and I understood enough of Mediterranean lifestyle to be able to paint vivid pictures, that became my event for the next 6 months. And it was sheer faith, because at this point we were on empty. The barrel was on empty, the gas gauge was on E. It was just sheer faith and willpower pushing me through. And somewhere around April I made the decision. I am sick, not only physically, emotionally, spiritually. I'm empty. I need to refill, refocus, reposition. And I need this business to get a jump start. So I decided I'm going to the DR. I'm going to set up shop there. I'm going to become a resident, starting over. And so I left Jamaica, headed to the DR. No idea about where, when, how. I'd done business with people in the DR. I had sent clients to the DR, never been there. But hey, how bad could it be? It's another Caribbean island. Woo! Did I have a shock? And funny enough, for somebody who speaks Spanish, I think I had the worst experience. And I think simply because I was shocked at a lot of things. I was shocked at how fake the people were. First turn off was how bad they spoke Spanish. Your Spanish is so awful. It's a Spanish that is some mixture of the Indian language that I guess is indigenous of there, and a race against time to get the words out, I guess, because they go and it's not for fault of understanding, make no mistake. In all of my years of traveling, working, living among Spanish speakers next to Cuba, I had never heard anything so hard to work with. So DR wasn't the paradise for me. Maybe because I was not in search of sand and sea. Anyway, we did DR for less than a month and I said, no, it's not gonna work. So I said, you know what? Let me go somewhere a little bit more familiar. Let me go and kind of just cool out, get my bearings back together. And that's what we did. Back to an English speaking place. We were in Orlando for a bit, met up with family, and then off to Mexico. Said, yes, I know Mexico. I understand Mexico. I've been to several places in Mexico, yes. But as a travel agent, as a tourist, Mexico is fabulous. To live there. Ooh, different sort of things. So I thought, okay, let's go see what it's like to put up business, open shop here. Was not all I expected at all. So Mexico came, Mexico went, and en route back to the DR with a stop in the States. You know how it is. So in between place for recuperating, reviving, repositioning, and back to the DR. My second trip, my second time of what I was now calling my digital nomad experience. At least I knew what to expect. I knew the place enough to know where I wanted to be. And so my second time around, it wasn't about setting up business, it was just setting up my remote office, getting to work with the job that I know what to do and how to do. But I still held dreams of partnering with a local company and making things happen, only to discover that that was not to be. And so I tell the story in this way to say life has challenges. You have to start, you have to do something. Some people say, oh, I got up, I went to this place and it was just heaven and wonderful and I'm here ever after. And then some people's story different. Mine certainly is really on the beginning, not nowhere near the end, because after I spent a few months in the DR, I realized, nah, this place and we don't speak the same language. We're not getting along the way I need to get along. So I decided I was gonna fulfill my young adult travel dream, head to South America. South America greeted me with open arms, far more cordial than the Dominican Republic had ever been. And the journey has now taken me to meeting suppliers, seeing the product here. It's so interestingly different. And I can't wait to show it all to you. So, this is just the first part of me leaving Jamaica and what led to it. I hope you'll come back for more.